Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah. Today we are going to study about graphs of linear function. What is a linear function? Who can tell me what is a linear function? Can anybody answer this? What is a linear function? Do you have an idea?
Yeah.
Okay, when we say linear function, we mean that the function has a line when we represent it on the graph, on the coordinates, okay? For example, here we have a line, okay? There is a line. This line is plotted on this graph. It has, by the way, this line has infinite number of points, okay? Inside this line, it has infinite numbers of points. You might say this line is limited by 2 points, and so it should be limited. But if you try to, for example, to divide this line into, for example, centimeters, let's say centimeters, for example, from here, 0, 1, okay? And then you divide between the 0 and 2, 2 decimals, okay? You say to, for example, 10 divisions, okay? Then between each division, between each 2 division, you are going to, for example, to divide it into 10 divisions. And the same thing goes with the smaller division. You are not going to finish doing this until you are not be able to what? To divide, because as humans we have only limited ability, but theoretically we say this has unlimited or infinite number of points. So to represent this line on the graph, we need to what? We need to, for each point, we need to refer its x and y coordinates. For example, this point, okay, has the coordinates of what? What is the coordinates for this point? You know coordinates? Coordinates means the x and y of that point. The x and y of that point. What is the coordinates for this point? That the one is
For Y,
sorry,
for Y
4y, okay, in x,
and 2X.
okay. Always when we define the coordinates for a point, we start with x, then y, okay? So here we can say this point with the coordinates 2 and 4, okay? Type. Then, so we can represent all the points in this matter, in this pattern, right? We can say the coordinate for this point is x and y, x and y. So all the points has to have coordinates on x and on y. Now, if you look at the first point, where is the first point of the line? It is here, right?
Yes.
So what is its coordinates? What is its coordinate?
0X and
0 and 2. In x we have
X and
0.
2Y. Yes.
In y, you see this is x, this is y. Don't be confused, guys. Don't be confused. This is x. You see it? This is x. And this is y. The numbers on y are 0, 2, 4, 6. And the numbers of on x are what? 0, 2, 4, and 6. So this point is Okay, let's put a table here and look at some points and what are the coordinates of them. X and Y. Okay. The first point we have said it is 0 and
2.
what? 2. Okay. Genna, can you tell me the coordinates of this point? This point.
1 and 3.
1 and 3. 1 and 3. What about this point? Omar. Omar. Do you hear me? Can you hear me, Omar? Are you with us? Iman?
It's 2 and 4.
2 and 4. Very good. What about this point? Rayyan?
3, 5.
3 and 5. Good. Let's take this point as the last point. Who can tell me what is its coordinate? The coordinate of this
0.
point, what is it?
Four and 6.
4 and 6, right? Okay. Its coordinate on X is 4 and on Y is 6. What do you notice from this from the table? Do you see that we have a table for inputs and outputs, like what we have done yesterday, like what we have done on the functions, inputs and outputs, right? Right, guys? All right. So can we have a rule for this table? Can we have a specific rule that control this this pattern in the table? Can you think about it? For example, can we say y equals hello?
Y equals X plus 2.
Okay. This is y, this is x, right? So y is output. So y is output. You said y equals x plus 2, right? Okay, let's make sure if this rule is correct or not. Let's take, for example, the 0. Let's replace the x with 0 for the first time. It's going to be 0 plus 2, right? Equals what? 2.
For 1.
Right? Why? Guys, in this case, we replaced x with 0. So what's the value of y when x equals 0? It is 2, right? According to this rule. So this satisfy our first value. X was 0 and y was 2. This is correct. So let's try to place or to substitute x with the value 1. So what's going to be y? 1 plus 2. If x equals 1, then y equals
3.
3. According to the table, y equals 3 when x equals 2. So this rule is true for this table, right?
Teacher?
Yes.
Y equals 3 when X is 1, not 2.
Because 1 plus 2. Who told me about this rule?
Me?
Okay, you give me this rule. All right. This rule is going to control the values of y when x has a value, okay? Has a specific or particular value. So we are going to look at we're going to look at all the values of x from the table and all the values of y from the table as well. And we are going to think about a rule that controls this relationship between x and y. Is that clear? So we have said that when y is 2, x equals 0. Or when x equals 0, y equals 2. So this means x plus 2, right? What is the rule that
Yes.
is going to give me 2 when x equals 0? This rule, right? So 0
Y
plus 2
plus 2.
equals 2. So this rule is going to control this relationship between x and y. So I was trying to make sure this rule is correct for the whole table or not. So I was replacing all the values of x to that rule to make sure if it is going to give me the same values of y. So I said when x equal 1, so 1 x1, and my rule is x plus 2, right? So 1 plus 2 equals what?
Y.
1.
I was like 3.
Yeah, 3. What about, for example, 3? When x equals 3, it's going to be
3
3
plus 2, 5.
plus 2, 5.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
So this rule, the rule y equals x plus 2 is correct for in the case of this table, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, this table represents the points on which points? What's the points in the table? What's the point that table is representing?
6 and 4.
No, what are they? They are on the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this rule is going to be the rule of the line.
Table.
Yeah.
Rule of the line, right? So we say this is the function. This is the function of the line. Function of straight line, not line, only line, for straight line, guys. Okay?
Okay.
So this is function of straight line. Okay? So in general, okay, let's not talk about it yet. Did you get the idea of how to come to a function of a line from its point?
Yes.
Any question?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, let's move on. Let's have another example. By looking at the coordinates of some of the points of the line below, this is a line. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to look at the sum of the points on this line and represent them in the table. Okay. So let's place the table here for X and Y. We have also a straight line. Okay. So, for example, the first point, let's take the first point here. What is going to be the coordinates of this point?
1, 3.
1 on X
1
and 3 on Y, right? So 1 and 3.
yes,
What about the second point here?
2
2
and 3.
yes.
and 3.
2 and 3. 1, 3.
This point,
3 and 3.
3 and 3. Okay, what about this point, for example, 4 and 3,
2 and 3.
5 and 3. What do you notice
6 and
here?
3.
Yes.
What do you notice?
Y is
Y is
3 for all of them.
always equal, right? The values are of Y always 3, always the same, isn't it?
Yes.
So whatever is
Yes.
the input here represented by X or Y, the input is represented by X or Y. X.
X.
X. Always the input is X. Okay. Always the output is Y. Okay. Unless if you change your parameters, okay, you are going to change the input and output. But in this case, we suppose the input is X. So for example, if you have a function machine, you're going to put numbers inside it. You are going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and always you see the output is a constant, is one value only, Y, 3, 3, 3, 3, for example. So the Y, which is the output, is going to be what? What is the rule in this case? Do we have a rule here?
No.
No. So
think so.
what should we do? We should say Y equals 3. We don't have a change in Y
Yes.
when the X is changing, right? Right? So we put
Yes.
we don't put X here. We don't put the argument X in the side of the right side. Why? Because in this case, Y is not going to change in order to X, because all the values of Y are 3 only, whatever the value of X. So we can say we can have another example. We have another straight line. This one is vertical line, isn't it? It is vertical. So yeah, all the values of X are constants. Do you see?
Yes.
When we want to represent some points of X, we are not going to be able to place any other value than 4, because all the values of X for the points on the line are 4. What about the values on the Y-axis? We can have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 1 2, 3, 4, and so on, right?
Yeah.
These values. For each value of x, we're going to find different values of y. So what is going to be the rule in this case?
No.
X 4.
X is constant, right? All the time we use y equals blah blah x, right? But in this time, the for example, y equals, wait. Okay, for example, let's say y equals this one, for example. Wait, this value of y. What 0 equals what? 0 equals 4, right?
Yes.
Not, no, you cannot do that. 0 not, it doesn't equal 4, but we can say because of the all values of x are equal, so our function in this case is going to be not related to y, but is going to be respect to x. So x equals 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So x equals 4, whatever the value of y, right?
Yes.
Because whenever one of the value x or y is constant, we're not going to find a rule for that. The rule is the constant value, x equals 4. Okay? Just the same as we did here. Y equals 3 because all the values of y are constants. So our rule or our function is y equals 3. Okay? Okay, guys, don't worry if you are confusing now. If you're confused, don't worry. I'll give you a homework then. If you have any difficulty in finding the function or the rule of the straight line in the homework, I'm going to explain everything over again. So I'm going to stop here because time is over. It's already 9:20. So please do the homework, and I'm going to share the screen with you in the Discord. So write the lesson and the homework and submit it. Okay. So thank you very much. Any question before we leave?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
guys. I'm going to end this and stop recording. Okay. Salam alaikum, everyone. Bye.
You said.
Assalam.